Good evening, and welcome to Total Nonstop Pod. I know we've been away, Christmas, everything, New Year's, but we're here tonight to give you all the lovely action that was going on in and around the wrestling world, other than what we do on the Paradigm Shift.
That's right.
So how's your night going so far, Mr. Morgan?
Man, me and my girl just got back from a lovely dinner, had a good time. And I knew I was going to be cutting it close, but I made it. And right here.
That's no problem. We do a bit of stuff to talk about. Now, the biggest thing here is I want to talk about tonight is, other than New Year's Evil that happened on NXT this week, which was some awesome stuff that went down.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to talk about is the NXT Awards. So I think we're going to start off with the NXT Awards. Then when we get to our first commercial break, then we'll go dive into New Year's Evil. So NXT Awards of 2020 happened. And so they started off with the Breakout Star of the Year. And that went to Shotzi Blackheart. I think she's well deserving of it. She had a very good 2019/2020 year for her. Really showcasing a lot. They used her well in NXT. I think with everything going on, the shift in the women's division, I would have to say probably I could see her as the next NXT Women's Champion. If things go right. If things were to go right.
She can go now.
Oh, she can go. She's proven that she can go. She's going to be in the Dusty Classic with her, and I think she's tagged up with your girl Ember Moon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be and they're going to be taking on The Way, which is Carly Rae and that other girl in the movement there with Johnny Gargano and all that. The Way. So it's going to be really good. It's pretty jam packed and stacked over there as well.
It's going to be interesting.
Definitely going to be interesting. Then they went on into the Tag Team of the Year, and they had to play this out for 3 times in a row, 3 years in a row. My boys in the UE got it again. Undisputed Era. What can I say? They are the Tag Team of the Year.
Yeah, they are. They are
the team, and they actually, just letting you all know, if you haven't taught the Dusty Classic, they moved into the next round of the Dusty Classic, beating Breezango. So there you go. Okay. I'm digging their new T-shirt. I'm thinking maybe getting it. It's the red one. It has the UE symbol, and then on the back it says Undisputed Forever. So it's pretty bad. Oh. What do we got?
No, nothing at all. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Then on to the female of the year or the female star of the year of overall, and that went to Io Shirai. No shock there.
Yeah. You knew
Pretty
that
much
one
no
happened.
shock there. She dominated 2020 with her women's tag team or not women's tag team, women's title in the NXT. She dominated that entire picture, basically for the whole 2020. Like there hasn't been anything. I think it's going to be great that we're going to see Mercedes and Io Shirai in that feud that's coming up. So that's something that we can look out for. And the male star of the year for the third time or second time time in a row goes to Adam Cole. Baby.
That was no shock either.
No.
No shock. He's so over.
Yeah, Adam is over. And I think right now, you look at some guys that you go, well, where would you see them after NXT? Right now, if I can say this, I feel that the Undisputed Era in a whole doesn't need to break up, but it does need to move on into the main event roster, being either SmackDown or Raw. And that because I feel that at this point they have achieved everything possible. They recently made Kyle O'Reilly and the Finn Balor feud, like they've done it twice. It's looked good. It's been hard hitting. They've showcased that all these guys do have potential. It's now time for them to sort of, you need them to move on so that you can create guys like Dexter Lumis, Calvin Graves, all these other stars that you've got now coming in and newer guys. Give them space. It's the only way that you can move it up.
Plus, there's nothing left for them to prove.
Well, there really truly isn't. Yeah, other than being like the dominant team, and they're trying to do the prophecy a second time. They want to hold all the gold again. I'd like to probably maybe give them one more time holding all the gold again, and then that's when you say okay.
That you let them go to the main roster.
Let them go to the main roster, and then maybe start dissolving the group. They run into some hardships or whatever, and then that breaks them down later on.
Right.
You don't have to break them up 100% right away.
Right when they get there. Yeah.
That's right. Match of the year was Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. No shot.
That's no shot.
That very first match that they had, it's no shot that they would have got that. They're well deserving of it. It was funny because Finn went to pick up the awards and what was it? William Regal's there and he's like handing him his. He goes, I don't want mine. He grabs O'Reilly's. He says, "Now just wait." And he goes out into the arena, and there's a little play there. So honestly, again, there was like that camaraderie, the respect. So yeah, I really liked that feud for sure. That match was banger. They both got injuries, and then they had the second one, and now Kyle O'Reilly's got the jaw injury.
Yep.
It's something. So then there was a poll went on during this time of the overall competitor of the year, and people voted, and give a guess who they got. Because it was now the two competitors that you could choose from. There was only two that you could vote from was Io Shirai and Adam Cole, because they take the competitors of both the men and women's. And they were like, okay, who's the overall competitor of the year? Right. The winner of the poll and the winner of the award was Io Shirai, was your competitor of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That means that signifies that the ladies have really moved up recently to gather a lot of respect from the fans, because it could have been maybe a year or 2 years ago that wouldn't have been heard of.
I think it's also too, and I'm going to say this so we can talk over all these awards, but I'm going to say that it showcases just exactly how 2020 went for NXT. They highly had to fall back on certain competitive groups. Yes, you're gonna get more out of the Undisputed Era. Yes, you're gonna get more out of certain singles competitors. We've seen it now with the development of the Way and how Johnny Gargano, was working that whole thing out. But also it showcases that the women's division was highly showcased all throughout 2020.
Yep.
Pretty much. Either if they weren't in the main event, they were co-main event, and if they weren't co-main event, they were in there somewhere in a big way. Go back to In Your House, NXT In Your House, that triple threat between Charlotte, Io Shirai, and Rhea Ripley. And that's where Io Shirai, basically startates her dominance as I'm going to be the dominant woman, and it just platformed from
moved
there.
up from there.
Yeah, it pretty much did the entire year of 2020. Honestly, I do want to say this: out of all the groups and all the places we've talked about, and all the, we talked about, AEW, WWE's Raw, SmackDown, MLW, all New Japan, and taplessing the whole thing. The people that are doing it sort of somewhat right, I feel, has been NXT. And not only because of, yes, they've moved out of Full Sail. They're now in the CWC, building, the Capitol Wrestling Center. Yep. And it feels, and in my eyes, it feels more jam-packed, feels smaller. It feels more tightly knit. And at the same time, yes, there's roots and heritage for the WWE being there, but it feels just like the right place for NXT right now. Right. They can really focus, hone in on what they need to get done. Yes, they can go down to go down to, the Performance Center, train, get whatever they need, come back up, boom. But it keeps them, like, NXT's here, the WWE's over here somewhere in Florida. There's, you know what I mean? So there's no real that big of co-mixing. Right. And you still got guys working over in the UK. I've caught some of the NXT UK. There's some really good stuff going on over there. They got some really good developing stars I've started to see. I'm liking one of their ladies. I think if she can become their it's Janelle, I think. She's like the fashionista over there in the UK. If she can become their UK champion, she's got that real heel-ish play with her. I think it would be really good, because then you can take Ray, who's been their champion, and start bringing her over to NXT North America. And start doing the exact same thing with Toni Storm and her, because they've had really great matches. Yeah. But yeah, overall, the awards I was okay with. They did have a show going on in the middle of it. I wasn't paying attention to the show at all, because it really didn't add to anything. It was just little minute things telling you, oh, hey, we got the Dusty Classic, we got this going on. But in all, NXT awards, those awards, they really showcased a lot of. I normally would say you want to showcase developing talent, right? And it's supposed to get them over, but at this point, they made the right decisions. A lot of it was right decisions on who was supposed to get it. These are the people that, really carried NXT through 2020. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, and we'll start getting into New Year's Evil, and then also part of the discussion, we'll talk about the AEW in a whole, their 2-week extravaganza.
Stay with us, guys. We'll be right back.
Right back.
Don't forget to check out
I was just going to cut you out. Sorry, man. You go ahead, bro.
Don't forget to catch the Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central Time. Join me, G, Brandon, Tommy, and Josh as we break down the world of professional wrestling. And remember, we are already changing the paradigm of professional wrestling.
That's right. And next week's show, this coming Wednesday, is going to be about the Royal Rumble 2007. Big Royal Rumble. Watched it already. So yeah, go tune in for that. That comes this Wednesday. So
yes,
catch that. So I'm going to start off before we get into New Year's Evil. I want to talk about the 2-week or the 2-show extravaganza that happened with AEW. I didn't catch everything. Granted, I caught a lot of it over Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that.
Right.
So it is just, I'm just seasoning over the whole entire thing. For the first thing is both shows were great. They had some up and down moments, and I get it. They're trying to get the show over on TNT. The big show. It's extravaganza. Blah blah blah. I know Cody Rhodes is a part of it, but did we really need now? And I love Snoop Dogg. Okay, I love his music. I love him as a cultural phenomenon. It's great. But do we need him in a ring, and do we need him doing splashes? Like, bro.
I saw that thing on Facebook and it just about died laughing, man.
Like, okay, so I catch a lot of the AEW stuff through Instagram, and the people that control their Instagram are the Guns, the Gun Club. Billy Gunn's two boys, and you'll catch them, and they're right there in the audience, and they're screaming and everything. But you get to hear everything, and when the splash, that I don't even want to call it a splash, it's a drop.
It's a drop. It's a drop.
He just dropped. There was no fraud splash. There's no nothing. It's just. And I'm watching it, and they're recording this thing live, and I'm catching it on the Instagram just before we were going on Paradigm Shift, and I'm like, no, Snoop Dogg didn't. And then it plays again, and when they're doing it, it's in slow mo, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
no, Snoop did. Like, out of everything, I don't mind that Snoop was the coach taking over for the night for Arn Anderson. That's fine. That showcases the show. That's great. No. Another thing that I'm totally over with right now. Can Taz not have 20 million people with him? Like, at this point, like, does Taz need 4 big guys that are not doing anything?
Right.
Really, 100%.
He ain't
the
going.
Darby Allin angle was great. Like, they came out. I love how they're playing the whole bully angle, and Darby played like all my life. It's that same thing. So it hasn't changed. And then all of a sudden, Sting comes out. Tony Schiavone can't stop saying, "It's Sting!" And it's snowing. I don't know how much they're paying for that. I don't know how much they're paying for that snow. Maybe they're getting it trucked in from Canada. I don't know. At this point. But Taz said it right. Like, I've had enough. I had enough of the snow. And I truly understand where Taz is coming from. Taz is coming from the perspective of the fans. But I've also had enough of Team Taz.
Right.
Is it helping Ricky Starks any? Nope. No, it's not.
Nope.
Ricky Starks just looks like your basic, he's getting hit with and doing all the bumps and taking all the hits and all the bumps for basically Brian Cage.
Yep.
It's almost like they're saying, oh, Brian Cage can't take bumps. But yeah, he's in the ring and he performs great. The match between him on night 2 last night, between him and Darby Allin, was a phenomenal match. A phenomenal match. It was really good. But at the same time, big power of Hobbs and Hook. They at this point, it's like, what? Are you trying to be the big guy for Horsemen because we didn't get it with FTR and everybody else because of plans and things that happened?
Yeah.
Like, just I'm at the point, and I understand what everybody's talking about, and I agree with them. Why do we have all these coaches that are doing nothing for anybody, and it's not getting them over? It doesn't help Lance Archer being with Jake the Snake.
Nope.
the only way that works is if Jake the Snake was behind the scenes teaching Lance Archer how to really cut a promo. Right. Having Jake the Snake cut Lance Archer's promos for him does not help him become a better promo star.
Nope.
It just keeps him where he's at, and it keeps him great in the ring, but crappy on the mic.
Yep.
It don't do nothing.
Yep.
So with all that's going on, I get it. It's great. I like to see. I like the stuff that they were doing with Jurassic Express, and FTR. I love how that angle's playing in. I love what they did with Negative Uno in the first night, him beating, like, going down on the little guy that's part of Jurassic Express. How he's just there as like their mascot and all this, and it's funny as heck. And then to see that exactly what Negative One said sort of plays into night 2 where they get beat, and it showcases what is you just really there as a windshield. Another thing that I just want to, as we're talking about with the AEW, is also the stuff they're doing with Rusev and the best friends, and now one of the best friends is going to be his boy for a month. Carrying his luggage and everything. I get it. They're trying to work this angle with him and Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian and all them and whatnot. But if my math is correct, okay, so when he first came in, and he was announced as the best man, usually like in around like 2 weeks after that, don't you have the wedding?
Yep, you normally do 2 or 3 weeks after. Yep.
Okay, this is going on for about almost going on 2 months now. Where's this wedding?
Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh, man. You need to get better, man.
You can't sell me on a wedding for 2 months. Like, you can't be telling me that they're preparing for 2 months. Like, you know what I mean? It's because you have nothing. There's nothing coming at the end of this angle.
Right.
And that's the thing. Now they're trying to write a big thing for the end of the angle. Whether it's adding Orange Cassidy and the best friends. I think what they should be doing is just having it as Mondo's now there. He became the best man. They have the wedding, and then he gets pissed off because he's still playing second fiddle to somebody, beats the heck out of him, and then turns to everybody and be completely heel and be like, yeah, hey, I'm a video gamer, I'm this, I'm that, but really start to showcase some dominance.
Right.
You've got to be able to utilize and take control. Somebody like him could be very well worked for the TNT champion division to really get over. Another guy that I would agree that would be there as well as a Ricky Stark.
Yeah.
There are things that need to be done. Now, I want to talk about or highlight a little bit. Two things. The Sandra Deeb match at the second night, and she was defending the NWA title.
That was it.
Phenomenal.
That's a good match. That was an excellent match.
That is what the AEW needs in their women's division. That shouldn't have been an NWA title match.
Nope.
You should be going ahead and signing Sandra Deebs and all those people and getting them more focused and more over and getting that women's division more well-rounded.
And the thing about Deebs, she's a complete pro too. She's a complete pro.
Yep. Deebs, I like how they're keeping Thunder Rosa in the mix, playing it up with her and Britt Baker. I think that's a really good angle to work towards your women's title match.
Yep.
At this point, to me, I feel, and it should have happened by now, yes, Britt Baker should be the champion. Because at this point, she's the perfect heel. You put that title on her and let her have that heel run where she's saying she's the best, that she's doing this, that she's doing. She was the very first signed to AEW. All this. That then having the championship gives it validation, puts the shine on the title. She's the right woman for the right time. She needs to be champion, and she needs to be going after that women's title first. Once she's got that title, and then throwing a little bit more of that heel gimmick in, I think she's money, and I think you'll see that in 2021. Let that be that start, because she's got a lot, like Kenny Omega, who I'm moving on to next, good segue. She's got that heel shine.
Oh yeah.
Kenny Omega, first night with the whole coming out with the the match between him and Phoenix, that was a phenomenal match, showcasing that, yeah, he's back into that 6-star maker, Kenny Omega. That match was phenomenal. And then having the Good Brothers show up, I think it's perfect. And I'm going to go on the record saying this right now, and I know Josh is probably somewhere rolling over and being like, no. I love Don Canales and doing what he's doing. I love it because it works perfect. He's putting the salt in the wound. He's rubbing it in there to everybody. Yes, we don't need to see Bullet Club 2.0, and we talked about this. We don't really need it. But at this point, it helps. It does not hinder. It helps. And it makes Kenny more of that heel that you despise. Why you hate Kenny. Right. Why you don't want Kenny as your champion. Why everybody's cheering Moxley. Because Kenny's the perfect heel at this position. And yeah, the stuff between AEW and Impact isn't the greatest.
Nah, it's not there yet.
But it is also plays into, they're working pay-per-views out. They're, so it is sort of, it's getting there. The train is starting to chug, and we're starting to see it. I just want to mention a quick mention because I did check up a YouTube clip, and I wanted to mention this, and this was actually really, really something. Impact, they had a match with Manic and Suicide. They were a tag team versus, I forget now, it was like Davari and another guy. These are all 4 people that will be in that X Division title match at Hard to Kill, and it looked really good. They're trying to say that TJP is still Manic, and it makes it look like maybe Suicide's TJP. I don't know what they're playing with it at.
But how they gonna try to do it?
Yeah. But I do. Like I said, I do like what they're doing there. That was a phenomenal tag team match, and it did build up the steam. They got a guy that's over there. I think they're trying to rip off some Bay a little bit because I heard him in.
Oh my goodness! Trying to rip off the shirt.
Well, hey, it's Gold Baby.
Yeah, Gold Baby.
Yeah,
Gold.
So now let's move on to a little bit of the New Year's Evil. This card, I was actually surprised.
Really now?
It was actually not that bad. Like, it felt more of, like, I get it. It was like, it's like one of those cards, like they have like Bash or, the Great American Bash or whatever. And it's like, it feels like should be a pay-per-view, but it isn't a pay-per-view, but it's giving you the pay-per-view quality. So it starts off with the good old Priest and Cross match, which, man, that was a banger of a match. And Cross does get it. He does win. He gets over, only because we all know that Priest is moving on up into getting his call up into the WWE. Going, I don't know if he's going Raw, SmackDown. Don't know. Didn't check. Right. But Damian Priest and Cross gave one heck of a match. It was well deserved. I think, if anything, the next challenge where they're trying to set up with Pete Dunne and Finn Balor, which will be phenomenal. I'm not not that at all. But Cross needs to get back his championship. He needs to get it back into that dominant picture, into that dominant form, and at least so that when you go, hey, you call him up, this is the reason why.
Right.
So yeah, it was a great match. Then you got into. I had to laugh a little bit, but you had Santino Escobar versus Grand Metalik for the NXT Cruiserweight title. Now, the reason why I'm going to mention this is because during that just before this, I was on 2020 Questions, and when I was on there, they're asked who is the current NXT Cruiserweight champion, and it is Santo Escobar. But over on NXT UK, Jordan Devlin, who's been trained by Finn Balor, states that he's still the real NXT Cruiserweight champion because technically he was injured, but did not lose, but was stripped of the title. They had a tournament and whatnot. Now, I get you 110%, Devlin. You have every right to say that. I would just say have 2 titles. Have one for NXT UK and just call it the UK Cruiserweight title and one for over here in North America, and it works.
North America Cruiserweight Championship.
That's right. That's right. Instead of making all this confusion.
Right.
So just wanted to mention that. But again, I want to mention a little bit how Lucha House Party comes out. Grand Man Elite, he's doing his thing. His tag team partner, he was dressed in a Lucha Libre outfit that looked like the original Megazord from the Power Rangers. I could not believe that. I was like, oh my God. I was waiting for Grand Man Elite to be like looking like the White Ranger or something.
Right.
Or the Green Ranger, but he didn't. Yeah. And then when you see him come out, it made him like look a little odd. And I'm like, and then I think it was Wade Barrett's commentating partner said like, it's morphing time. And I'm like, oh no. That's it. I was just like, nah. Yeah. Santo Escobar looks dominant, and him being their cruiserweight champion puts legitimacy to that title. So far, I do not see a certain man on the roster. I don't really see anybody specifically on that roster that's going to take that title from him right away. Maybe Swerve, but Swerve's now becoming more of a heel, so you can't really want to go with a heel. I want to see like a baby face who would be a good baby face to take that. Myself personally with that, maybe Leo, their Lee Ruff, or that new guy that's like the Leo Ruff, dollar store general knockoff. I think you could put him into the cruiserweight division or for that cruiserweight title. Maybe give him like a fluke and make it look like Santo may have crack, like he may be weak, and then make him build him better. Like there is no crack in this foundation. I am the champion. I think that would play well. We got to get a look at the new Xia Li. That whole thing. Can somebody please tell me why did they go with the Mortal Kombat look for these guys? Honestly, it's like they went to the Dollar General Mortal Kombat discount store, found a guy that could play Shang Tsung, gave him a mask that had like spikes on it.
You said discount.
Yeah, I did. I said discount. Yes, I did. They had the spikes on it that made him look like Shang Tsung. They stood beside him. Buddy's looking like the Asian version of Johnny Cage. In the suit, black glasses. Wants out and Kylie. She has wearing the hood, the hat dress thing that reminds me of Kung Lao. I was expecting her to throw the hat. That's what I was expecting and see if it bounce Nope. Buddy takes the hat off her, and then she goes ha ha ha, and it all sounds
hilarious.
And it all sounds, if you listen to her, it sounds like she's fighting in a Mortal Kombat video game. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I know she always does that with the fans, and I get that that's her shtick.
Right.
But if you're trying to make her more a badass, dominant woman, like, okay, the whole entrance is cool. She doesn't need to stop. If she's going to stop and take out the hat, that's when when you take out that, then she goes into that ring, and then it's go time. It's not let's do a bunch of kung fu, ha ha ha, make me sound like some knockoff Mortal Kombat character, and then start match. The dominant, she kung fu kicks and everything like that. It was a really dominant match. They gave her like some local, I don't know if you'd call it local talent anymore. It's one of the ones that enhancement.
Local enhancement.
Well, not even that. It looked like it was just somebody that had been there. They probably trained for like a couple weeks. Oh, put this mask on, put this bodysuit on, and your face. And we want to make you look dominant, because honestly, there was no fight from the other opponent on Xia Li. Xia Li just did a bunch of kicks. It was pretty much like they told her, "Yeah, you're gonna get your butt whooped and get ready to be mollywopped," because that's exactly what happened.
What happened?
Because that kick that Xia Li delivers right at the end, like, got her in the face, and I was like, yeah, you knocked out.
Like, you knocked her out.
Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3. No wonder she wins. So before we move on any further, we're going to take a little quick commercial break, and then we'll we'll talk more about Xia Li and the rest of the card.
We'll be right back, guys. Hang with us.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross.
That show has been changed from the Huddle to the Sports Report. And we will be on this Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. You can join me, Gene, on that show as well. We got Tommy, we got Mr. Brandon, and we'll also have Josh with us. So definitely check out the Sports Report this Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Pinfall Productions. Gene, let's go back with the show, man.
I had to do this for Brandon.
Yes, for Brandon. Yes.
one time for Brandon.
One time for Brandon.
Yeah. No, but Xylee, I like the gimmick. I like what they're doing with it. I hope that this doesn't just become a one-off shtick, and then when it finally progresses to where they want to get it, it blows up.
It blows up.
Like we and I don't mean blow up like, oh, it's going to be a big thing. No. I mean blow up as like it's going to poop the bed, because we've seen Asian characters like this before throughout the WWE / we'll say it WWF, and it doesn't get over very well.
Yeah.
It has got to be done like it's a margin that you're walking on. Hopefully this does well. Now moving on. The two biggest matches of the night, the co-main event and the main event. Co-main event being the last women's standing match between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez. This was hard hitting from the time they start to the time they finish. They go over the entire little area that they do, in through glass, through tables. At one point, Dakota Kai gets involved and starts smacking with kendo sticks on Rhea Ripley, and Rhea just finds it annoying and shoves her into a locker and locks her in. And legit, that's what she does.
That's her little girl is worth. That's all she's worth.
You hear Dakota Kai, and they're like, "I love it." Yeah. It was funny.
I am not a fan of hers at all. I love Rhea Ripley though.
Like, to be honest with you, I don't mind Dakota Kai. I like that she went heel. She needed to do that over Tegan Nox. But now it's at that point with Dakota Kai. It's sort of at that standstill, and that's why they gave her Raquel Rodriguez as like her muscle. But that's getting to a point now. Like we're going to say here. So Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley have a heated match, hard contest. It finishes off. The finish was phenomenal with Gonzalez putting her through the stage. Staging, there's a board there. She goes, and this is off the stairs, just like pretty much power bombs her through there. And Raquel gets out at 9 and then 10, and then Raquel Gonzalez wins, showcasing that she is now the new dominant female of NXT. Breaking the friendship between her and Rhea Ripley. They got matching tattoos. They talked about the whole thing. And like I was getting to, now that Raquel Gonzalez is the dominant female, does she really need Dakota Kai? I say no. At this point, that's when you're going to see her go against Dakota Kai. I think Dakota Kai at this point needs to do one of two things. It's either A, you go back to NXT UK and get another NXT UK title shot, or you start running at Io Shirai and all the rest of them and trying to get that women's title. Right. That's where she needs to be. That's where her picture needs to be, and that's where her focus needs to be at this point. We know the reason why Rhea did not win this. She is getting called up into the WWE. But honestly, Rhea put up a really phenomenal fight. like she even came off. She was up on a stack of just different stuff. It was just after they'd been thrown through she speared Redalis through the glass, which I thought they had cut themselves.
It sort of kind of scares me that Rhea got called up, because now I don't know what they will have to work with her being there.
Well, now you have faith in Gonzalez being your big woman for NXT.
Mm-hmm.
You have your veteran in Ember Moon in that division. You're now trying to build and create Candice LeRae and also Chauncey Blackheart as your next dominant, your next fold into that.
Right.
So right now it's perfect for Rhea Ripley, because in the WWE alone, where she'll probably showcase up on this Royal Rumble. That will probably be where we see Rhea, show up. I honestly think she needs to be in the Raw side for the women instead of the
SmackDown.
Over there on SmackDown, because with Raw, I would love to see a good match between her and Asuka. I think they could really go. I think it would be really well done. Not to say that you don't want to see Sasha Banks and Rhea Ripley, but we've seen that. We know where that gets. We sort of seen that before, and we know where that gets. Rhea can dominate Banks, and I really don't think that's just, not to say that SmackDown's the B show. No, I feel SmackDown's more of the A show.
Yep.
But if you want to start building your Raw back to being that better show, you need that A+ talent. You've got people like Keith Lee over there with having Rhea, and I know they're going to be bumps and trials with both stars. As long as they stick through it, it will change Raw for the better.
They'll be all right.
Now, the main event match was Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly 2, and this did not disappoint one bit. This match, again, was hard-hitting right from the time they started to the time they end. It looked like Balor had a bit of an arm injury that came out of it. It wasn't like anything big or serious.
Right.
They played up that. But Kyle O'Reilly did get a jaw injury. And it was, okay, so where the spot was, so he had him locked up into an octopus move, Finn did. O'Reilly was trying to get out, didn't have no way of using arms or anything like that, so he's standing, and he bit the rope, and then Balor kicks the rope. So it's like he had it right in between here, and it popped him up. So and they were trying to play it. You could tell O'Reilly, like, from that point on, was trying not to play that he had a jaw injury, like something had happened. Maybe he dislocated the jaw or whatever. I don't think it's a super bad as what Finn had that time.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty bad. It came down to the end of it that it was a unique submission. Finn Balor made O'Reilly tap to, but at the same token, Finn did go back to the kidney shot, the liver shot that got him, and O'Reilly felt that. But it was a hard hitting match. Finn Balor still your NXT champion, and I liked what he said the other night on NXT that Finn did. He goes, now O'Reilly has to eat his stuff through a straw. He was talking about planting the X, and that's what led into having Pete Dunne and his group come out and beat on him and whatnot. But and all in all, this New Year's Evil, I'll call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Was pay-per-view. Was actually really, really good. It kicks off 2021 in the right foot, in the right position. The stories that it ended stories, but it's now getting you ready for 2021. Who's going to be leading, and who you want to follow, and what you're going to be watching for NXT for 2021, and how they're painting the picture. I think NXT in a whole, or especially with this one, I want to give this card, I'm going to give it a solid B+. It's definitely a well watched. Not to say that it is not deserving of an A, because I would have given it A. The only thing was the whole Xia Li thing you're doing. the Mortal Kombat thing. Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling where you're going with it. The dark, giving her the dark persona, taking away that she's not talking very much. That she got this trainer thing. I get all that. It plays into her culture, her heritage. I'm not bashing that part. It's just the whole entrance, and then while you're in there, you're sounding like, if somebody was to tell me this, if I was Michael P.S. Hayes and I was watching this, I'd be thinking, what, did I just walk into Mortal Kombat? Because honest to God, that legit, like, you could have taped her and plopped her right in, and she'd fit in right perfect.
Oh, man.
The only other thing I got, we'll talk about here going before we leave out and whatnot, is over there in AEW, now bringing in the Bullet Club, the whole Bullet Club angle that they're playing. Now that we've seen Don Callis, and Don Callis is putting the wedge in between the Young Bucks, the Elite, because on night 2 we were supposed to have a 6-man tag, and here he's like, and Kenny Omega's best friends, the Good Brothers, and here's the Young Bucks waiting to go, and Tony Khan is there watching this whole thing as well on the monitor, and you can see the Young Bucks like, bro, you know what I mean? We've been with this guy, dude. We're his best friends,
right?
Not those two. And I love how they're playing it up. But then when everything goes down, who comes out? The Young Bucks, and they're all still together. They're Bullet Club for life. There's this bond, and I love how they can play that so well. I think there's a lot of this is also playing into, I want to say, because where you've got Cody doing a whole bunch of other stuff, he's busy with show and whatnot. I got a feeling like they're going to be bringing in Marty Scurll, and now that he's left,
because he's gone. RH, yeah,
he left RO. They've left Anna Copley. They've left, but I really feel like that's where you want to see Marty Scurll right now. At least I don't see there's anything going on. Like I understand that NWA's redoing their thing, but they just don't go there. You're going to say there, Will?
I was about to say he was with ROH for a long while.
Yeah, and he was one of their bookers and whatnot. I get it with the whole thing that went down. Speak Out movement. There was a lot of people, not only through ROH, but I'm talking it affected companies across the board. Across the board, a lot of women had come out, especially up here in Canada. It was a big thing. I was shocked by what I read from some of the women competitors and whatnot that I follow and whatnot. But in a whole, Marty Scurll is still a really good competitor.
Yes.
You take a talent like Marty Scurll and you put him on AEW, or you even, just hear me out, you even throw him over to NXT.
Ain't wrong with that.
And there would be nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Because I think if you were to throw him over to NXT, Marty Scurll over to NXT, and maybe if I'm Marty Scurll, put my word in for your boy Flip Gordon to go over there and create them as a villain enterprise, or the villain enterprise as we know of. You change it up a bit or whatever you want to call it. Just call it Enterprise if you want. I think that'd be perfect competition. It would make your cruiserweight division a little bit more well-rounded.
Right.
It would also give you Flip Gore, like Marty Scurll is great with the rate in the cruiserweight division, but you get a 2-for-1. Both guys can do cruiserweight. Both guys can also do your NXT North American or heavyweight title, and it would work. It would work 110%. So at the end of the day, you really want. I hope Marty Scurll is a pickup. I'm not trying to say is like he's going to fit the bill for help with NXT. And I know everybody's talking like, AEW gets all the rejects and everybody like that, but it would fit there a little bit more because they know him.
I agree that
most of your guys know. But if he was to go over and get the shot at NXT WWE system, it wouldn't be bad either. You keep him in NXT for 2021, maybe a little bit into 2022, and then you move him up, whatnot. But in all, I have to say what we saw in show so far, kicking off 2021 or kicking off the 2021 new year, it's okay. But there is going to be some work, and I hope creatively especially for NXT and AEW, creatively they don't go off the rails too much, and they really stick to what's got them the fans and the viewing.
Really, all right. Keep it to where you are right now. Don't do anything to cross over into something stupid.
That's right. I get you. I get AEW needs something to do big, and they need a line, and they need an angle, and that's why they're working well with Impact. I don't see that as being a thing that you're going to see for the entire year.
No,
it's going to drop off here very soon, because you can't keep having your Impact Tag Team Champion show up on AEW, and you can't keep having the AEW Champion show up on Impact.
Right.
And running angles. If you want to work Impact, work Impact. If you want to work, the AEW. I think the miles are there. They haven't wore the tires out just yet. And it's great that you're having this reunion, but I think at some point, I say about February, March, you're going to start seeing the wheels of this bus be like, yeah, we're done. This is enough. Because at the same time, Omega still needs to be the Omega heel. He can do it without Don Callis. He don't need Don Callis there. We know that. We know that 110%.
So true. Yeah, we do know that.
But I get that because you've seen that the same way they did it with Chris Jericho. They gave him a group. As soon as he became champion, they gave him the Inner Circle. As soon as Jon Moxley became champion, they were trying to give him a little, Inner Circle type guys. He didn't want it. He was okay on his own. Because, again, he's supposed to play that anti-hero face.
That lone wolf.
That lone wolf type.
Yeah.
But with Kenny, they're going to play it up that, the Elite, the Bullet Club. That's all going to be there. They're just running this shit. I'll say it. They're just running the shit out of their system. And once it's done, Omega can then play the heel or the face or whatever he wants to do with that title. I don't see Omega yet losing the title. But I do see him I would say probably sometime in March. He drops it to someone else, and then what will happen is he'll get it again, and this time it will be purely Omega. There won't be no Don Callis. There won't be nobody else. He was just going to show how heelish or how face he could be.
He could be. I agree there. All right, guys. Is there anything else you got for tonight, my friend?
Nothing else that I can think of. I just do want to say, because we always throw out the shameless pledge. We always try to help. Revolution this Sunday is having Breakdown. They have a big card going on again. Breakdown, yeah. I think it's the mix of second and third round in the Evolution of Revolution the championship that's going on over there. You want to catch that up. And I do know, and I did hear through the grapevine, and I know Tommy wouldn't mind me saying this, but there will be a backstage bulletin coming Monday. So right after Revolution, you may want to catch up Monday, because you're going to see all your favorite Revolution stars on the greatest interview show. We already had episode 1, which was phenomenal. Episode 2 is just going to be as good. So you would want to catch that, and that is 7:00 Central Time.
Okay.
Monday.
Okay.
So again, go check those places out. Also check out WGP. You can check me out on TikTok at Eugene Pettigrew, all one word. Check me over there. I'm trying to help my boy Brandon Randall get up to at least 1,000 so he can go live with you. Go check him out as well over there on TikTok at Bo_Jax on TikTok. Had to throw the shameless pleds out there. You'll catch me with Will on Tuesday, and we'll be breaking down some good old hockey.
Yep.
The season has just begun.
Yep.
The red lights were playing. And by the way, that game that I was telling you about there on Paradigm Shift actually went to OT. It was 3-on-3 OT, and you'll hear about it. You'll hear about it on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I will be nice, because I know Tommy will be on, and Tommy will want me to talk about the St. Louis Blues. Yes, they had a victory as well. So I'll be giving you all the rundowns of what's going on in the NHL world. Progressively, at the end of the day, I love you guys. Thanks for coming out. Hopefully you all tune in next week. Again, we'll be covering NXT, AEW, just running down, breaking down whatever we hear, whatever going on, whatever the paradigm shift isn't talking about, because we talk about everything under them.
That's pretty much about right. Pretty much about right.
And then catch us this Saturday for the Geek Gauntlet, which is the fastest hour of podcasting. I think the Underground podcast can home with the Geek Gauntlet as being the fastest hour in podcasting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
all right.
Want to say good night, and I hope you guys stay safe. 2021 hopefully treats you well.
Good night, everybody. Have a good week.